Hi everyone. As you can see, this isn't like the normal kind of content that I make, but I'm taking a break from Star Stable and still wanted to put something out for you guys. So today I thought I would make a little tips and trick video for Alicia Online because I don't really have anything else to make, and I haven't seen a video where people say little tips and tricks that no one really talks about. They kind of just do the basic stuff. They make videos for beginners, but then there's like some small tips that can kind of change the way you play the game. But I've never really seen anybody talk about them, so I thought I could be that person. I know you probably think that you shouldn't really take advice from me considering the rank I look like in the game right now, but I have been playing since 2015, but it's been so off and on that I never really got up there in the ranks, but I still understand the game, I promise. When I played the most regularly, the ranking system wasn't really a thing. There was no bronze, gold, platinum, whatever it is. There was none of that, so my skill is from back then, but it's pretty much the same thing. Regardless, I am getting back into the game, so I think my skills are up to par to where I used to be. And I hope I can help you guys improve and get better and you take something from this video. So the first tip that I do have for you guys is to really take advantage of the corners. Like when you're going around them, you'll see in a second, you should really hug those corners, because at the end of the day, when people aren't hugging those corners, they're gonna get further behind than you, see? So you need to stay near the wall, and by doing that, I got ahead of everyone. And as you'll see in the clip, I'm about to do it again, going around this corner, and that leads to another thing, is when you get ice and you're going around a corner, there's other people who are going to be trying to hug the wall, so place ice there and they'll be forced to go around, and boom, it's an easy first place. It's obviously easier said than done and will take practice, but it's still a really good tip that you should use. Another tip that I do have is to save your dragons when the person in front of you already has a dragon. So obviously you're not going to be able to send your fire, your dragon, whatever you want to call it, to them if they already have a dragon. But I promise you should save it, especially since if they're in first place, they're going to use their shield on the other dragon, and again, it's an easy first place. I would have been first here if it wasn't for that little dick. But yeah, don't use your dragon if someone already has one. Another more commonly known trick is to use your boost at a good time, especially when you are getting hit by a bolt or a dragon. If you have a boost, if you time it right, you won't lose your boost, and it'll help you get back up way faster and back in the game. Just another example of me doing that, but this time with a critical dragon. Obviously it's not going to be the most helpful when the duration of the dragon takes up your entire boost, but it does help you get back up faster. Another tip that I have is to really take advantage of sliding and dashing over jumps. So as you can see, what I'm about to do is I do a slide jump over that one jump so it fills my gauge faster, and then I do a boost, I dash, and then that is really beneficial to getting me up there on par with everyone else while also filling up my gauge. Here's another example of that, but it's not so slowed down. So as you can see in a second, I do slide jumps over those two jumps so I get them, and then, to speed back up, do your dash. So another tip that I have is also more known, but when you are about to get hit with a bolt like this, you can see that I double jumped, and now I get up more quickly than I would have, and I can get back on track with everyone else. Something really important that kind of ties back into using the walls, using the corners, is to cut people off, especially in the beginning here when you're going to be next to everyone. It can really help you push ahead, and you'll see me do it in a second here. Look at Olivia 2017. If you can get them into that corner in that wall, you'll stay in first. Since we're speaking of the beginning of the game, learning how to do a perfect start is super beneficial. So you're going to want to press your rear button right after 2, right here, and then you press forward when it says start. So now we're getting more into the basics of passing a dragon. Obviously, you're going to want to pass a dragon like how I'm about to do if you are in a scenario where you can do that. But if you have a critical dragon or a normal dragon even, and it's not a good spot to do so, don't slow down or turn around to pass your dragon because that's only going to put you further back. Sometimes you just need to take the dragon, you know? Another tip that I have is not to take the next available power up right there as it is, especially if you don't need it. Like in that scenario, I didn't need a shield, so I skipped it and soon got a bolt to use against the person in front of me. The last tip I have is a basic but really useful one, and that is to save your shield. And I know everyone knows this one already, but I really want to reiterate how important it is, especially if you're in first place. So as you can see, I had my shield, and it was helpful that it was, you know, critical chance of a shield, but I was about to get bolted when I got saved by the shield that I saved from being in first place, and then I ended up winning the match. So that was basically all I had for the little tips and tricks that can change the way that you race. They were really basic, and maybe some people already knew them from experience, but I know that there's a lot of new players that don't really want to find these things out themselves, and it can totally be super beneficial to know these things early on. If this does well and anyone wants me to make it a series, I will make a series because there are plenty more that I can do, and I can also give tips on breeding and stuff because I am really good at breeding and I've honed the same lineage for a really long time. So yeah, thank you for watching, and if you want anything else like that, I got you. Just let me know. So yeah, bye bye.